Hello to everybody on the call. I'd like to sincerely welcome you all, especially the players who were selected by the clubs to be part of the Galway Talent Academy programme in hurling and football. I'd also like to welcome parents and coaches. If they've come on the call there as well, you're very welcome. Damien Coleman is my name. I'm the Provincial Hurling Games Manager. And in this context, I run the Talent Academy programme for Galway Hurling, and I'm joined by my colleague Dennis Carr, who's the Talent Academy Development Manager for football, who will be addressing you there shortly. Just a bit of context around the whole academy programme in our county. Normally it starts in April on pitch. The first 6 weeks would be used to trial and educate players in their masses who come in from the clubs at under 14, 15 and 16. And then squads get selected. The numbers become smaller, and as a result, then teams are selected to play in national blitz and tournament days. So look, at just to be very accountable and honest and open and transparent to everybody on the call, we don't know what the year fixture-wise looks like yet for the National Talent Academy programme. But, we feel in Galway GAA and Galway Coaching and Games Development that you deserve within your age groups a development programme, and we intend on giving this presently to you online via live broadcast as we're on here today. With the live broadcast, we have no cameras and the whole GDPR compliance, so it works better for us to do it this way. Just again, for players, I'd like you to think about the programme you're coming on. How important it's going to be for you. Are you going to be committed to it? We'll be having a talk about all that there now shortly. I'd like to think, and I say it to all the players every year that come in, that you have three balances here now to get right. If you're coming into this programme, you have your family life, your academic life. You have to look after your family life. You have to look after your academic life, and then your sporting life is third. And for obvious reasons, you've chosen GAA and you're at an elite level within your age groups if you're selected on this programme. So just be cognizant of the fact that there's three balances there: the family life, the academic life and the sporting life, and try and time manage what you're doing and when you're doing it, and make time for all three. And again, just to remind you, there's 168 hours in a week. So start with a circle there with your 168 in the middle, and farm out the hours then that you're doing your schoolwork in, your family life contributions in, and then your sporting life contributions. So maybe we'd like you to think about having a look at that under our culture and values, and we'll be talking to you a little bit later about that. So just to explain our culture and values, it's a system that we've had in Galway Academy development over the last number of years, and we'd like to bring an awareness to yourselves about the 5 points there we have on the screen. And if you want to take a little screenshot there of that on your camera phones, feel free to do so. So the whole area of respect for fellow players, for your management teams when you get to meet them in the future when we get on pitch, and the whole respect around the academy programme and how you're committed to it. And are you going to work a little bit harder now that you've been selected in this process? So number 2 there under culture and values, we like to use the word industriousness. It's the level above hard work. So you've been invited in here now by your club, you've been sent forward, and we want you to work a little bit harder now than you've ever worked before. We'll be Seamus, our physical fitness expert there in Connacht GAA. He's our strength and conditioning manager and coach. We'll be talking to you a little bit later about your athletic development programme, your running programmes. And we'll also be talking to you about your strength and conditioning programmes and what our expectations starting the weekend will be for you on these programmes. So I'm just asking there you to have a little think about your level of hard work and get to a new level in your head, and then it'll become automatic for you. Your leadership under culture and values. Are you a leader in your club? Are you a model player in your club? Because you can't be part of the Galway Academy Development Programme if you're not a leader in your club first. The club is first, and if there's, later on in the year, if there's clashes with academy programme and a club, well, we'll be telling you to go to your club first, and that's very important. The player who's loyal to their club, who's a leader in their club, and that's a value our management teams will be looking for from you going forward: the respect, the industriousness, the leadership, and now the trust as well. We're going to trust you to do this programme that we're going to give you today. Seamus will outline it and we'll send it to you via email during the week. And that whole trust will be you taking charge of yourself to get the most out of yourself and to allow yourself flourish as a GAA player going forward. But again, being the leader in your club. And point 5 there on the relationship building, the whole social capital. You have a massive opportunity now to meet new friends from different clubs, friends for life, friendships, that can't be undervalued. So to be part of this process is hugely, it's a big opportunity and it's a huge positive. So we're just encouraging you there today to have a little think about the little messages we're giving out here now and the opportunities that you will have to develop yourself as a person and to develop your game through that mode, and the support systems then that we will provide for you during our Talent Academy programme in Galway GAA. I'm going to hand you over now to my colleague Dennis Carr, who's the Talent Academy Manager for football, and Dennis will take you through the next part of the presentation.
Cheers, Damien, and welcome everybody. So over the next few months, every 2 weeks, we will be running similar webinars to this evening. The first one is athletic development. So Seamus Burns, our athletic development coach in Connacht GAA, is going to take you through the programme shortly when I finish up here. In 2 weeks' time, we'll have educational webinar on nutrition and hydration. So the nutritionist will go through all the food, like it's just simple little tips: the foods you should be eating, when you should be eating prior to training, the best type of foods to give you the best chance in your training and in preparation for your games, and then all the just tips on hydration, how much water you should be drinking, or the type of drinks you should be taking at different times, and how much you should be taking. In no particular order, then we've a series of other webinars lined up, stuff on performance coaching, just giving you little tips on confidence. It could be that you're a nervous player, little tips on if you make a mistake in the match, how do you reset and get back into the game. Our county minor and under 20 managers will be talking, our respective hurling and football managers will be talking to you at different times as well, giving you little tips on what they expect from our underage players, of our academy players feed into their different teams. One that Damien touched on there is balance in school and sport, which is really, really important to us as academy coaches and developing you as people. So we have really good person lined up to talk to you about how to balance your schoolwork and your sport. In that as well, you will be he'll go through stuff on college, different subjects, options open to you, like it could be if college mightn't be for you, PLC course or apprenticeships and stuff like that. So that facility will be with you all the way through your academy lifespan with us. And then another one we'll have is lifestyle coaching. So someone will be coming in and talking to you about just about your lifestyle, about surrounding yourself with good people, the dangers of alternative lifestyles like drinking or drugs or misuse of stuff like that, and about dangers of social media and stuff. So all these subjects here, and we'll have a few more as well as the months go on, but all these subjects are very relevant to you guys as young athletes and as you develop as people through your GAA career. So I'm going to hand over to Seamus Burns. He's our Athletic Development Officer in Connacht GAA. He's got a wealth of experience when it comes to developing programs for young athletes like he, and we're delighted that he's come on board and the program he's set out for our Galway hurling and football squad. So thanks to our Seamus. Come on. You're muted there, Seamus.
Sorry about that, guys. So thanks a million to Dennis and Damien for the introduction, and it's great to be here talking to you for the introduction of this program. Just a little bit about my background. I'm the Provincial Strength and Conditioning Officer as I was, and as the new Athletic Development Officer. So what I'm generally concerned with is working with the academy squads, making sure that they're preparing okay in relation to physical fitness and developing the proper skills that they need going forward into their football and hurling career. I'm going to what I've developed for seeing as we're working from home for the next little while is a simple program that's divided between under 14s, which is more of a circuit class, and then our under 15s and under 16s. You'll be working on a slightly different program. I'm going to briefly go through it tonight. The running programs generally are the same, and I'd like you to try and implement your skills of the sport into your running program. I'll come to that as well as we're talking through it. What I'd like to do is I'm just going to spend maybe 5 minutes just briefly going through it. Damien and Dennis will make sure that you get the program emailed out to you over the next couple of weeks. So if you have any questions or anything, you can come back to them when you get the program. It's very straightforward. There is a video link there, seeing as we can't do any live sessions really. There's a video link that's going to be on the sheet that you'll get, so you can just go in and have a look if you need a little bit of help on what an exercise actually is. Although the handiest way to do is go onto YouTube and type in Connacht GAA conditioning. It's all on the sheet anyway. So I'm just going to unshare the screen here for a second, and I'm going to put up the under 14 program to start it. So I'll be with you in 1 second now. So hopefully you should be able to that. It mightn't be too clear on your screen. That's okay, we can work around that because you'll be getting these emailed out to you in the coming days, probably over the weekend or maybe very early next week. So we'll be starting fresh with the athletic development portion of this from next week. So this is going to be our under 14 program. A very straightforward program. Up here on the top left, you'll see your warm-up checklist. So a little bit of foam rolling if you have foam roller, a couple of static stretches, activation, mobility, and then we're into the program. So that kind of warm-up, that's generally encompassing the kind of warm-ups that you'd be doing normally with your clubs as well. Here in the center, it might be a little bit hard to see the address, but that's just the YouTube link. You'll be able to click that on the email to bring you to the Connacht GAA conditioning page where all these exercises are housed. And then we're into the program. So this is our under 14 program. Okay, so if we're on the under 14 squad, this is what we're going to be working for. I'm going to come back to you and update this in 4 weeks, and this will be the same for the under 16s as well. I've left 6 weeks of programming in this because we don't know with COVID what's going to happen down the line. So just to preempt, just if we run into problems somewhere down the line, we have 2 weeks to come up with an alternate plan. But I'll be back here on week 4 of this program to update this and go through any issues that might have been arising across the squads. So this is going to be a circuit class. So how this is going to be structured is you're going to go do one exercise, move on to the next exercise, move on to the next exercise, the whole way through. Take your break at the very end after your last exercise, which is the alternating lunges, for 2-minute break, and then you go back and repeat through it, and you'll do that 3 times. So that'll be your week 1 of it, okay? There'll be 2 sessions per week. How I'd envisage you doing this would be you do your conditioning program, or your strengthening program, which is this program, on a Monday. You do your running program, which I'll outline in a minute to you, on the Tuesday. Take Wednesday off, have a little break. That could be a rest day. On Thursday, we'll go back in and do our strengthening program again. On Friday, we'll be doing our running program again. So you're hitting the 2 sessions per week for both sides that you're looking at. So our first exercise is going to be a press up. The important thing with the press up is we have full range of motion, so we go right to the floor, right back up. I've timed this to be doing for the under 14s for 20 seconds of exercise. There's a little on the sheet when you print it out, there'll be a little panel where you can type in the number of press-ups you do in that time, and that's very good for you to be able to keep a record of what you're doing and how you're improving as you're going through the exercise, as you're going through the weeks of the program. So it'll be 20 seconds, how many you can do. Form is important with all these exercises, so I'd encourage you to make sure you look at the videos, see what we're classing as good technique, and make sure you try to stick to that, and we'll improve you as go. It won't be perfect, guys. There's nothing we can do with that because we can't work in a one-on-one scenario just yet, but this is a really good way to be getting you up and running so that when you come back you're not as disposed to maybe injuries. And also the important thing for us as well is you're not starting at a low base. You have a little bit of a grounding and you're ready to go. So after our press ups, we go straight into our squat. Again, we're going to go for 20 seconds. Technique over the amount of reps, I can't encourage that enough, so we're looking for really good technique on this, again going by the videos, and you'll be able to follow that. Recording your reps. From there we go straight into a side plank, straight into a glute bridge. That might be one that might be a little bit new to some of you might have to have a look at that. Straight into the planks, into a TheraBand row. Now on the TheraBand row, if you're lucky enough to have a TheraBand in the house, that's a brilliant job, you can use that. If not, you can change that and use a towel. Use a really strong towel, wrap it around your feet, and you can use that as an alternate exercise if you don't have a TheraBand in the house. So what we mean by TheraBand, it's one of those elastic bands, the exercise bands you see. After that, then we're doing a little bit of alternating lunges, so just forward and back movement. Again, we're working, trying to make sure that we're not picking up any injuries when we do get back on the field in the coming months. So we go right through it. We take a 2-minute break at the very end, and then we go back to the start and we go through it again. Take a 2-minute break, back and go through it again. That'll keep going for the 3 weeks, or for the 4 weeks, sorry. If it is a thing that we have to bring in week 5 and week 6, which the lads will let you know as you're going through the program, we'll just put in an extra set just to push you on a little bit more. So that's the under 14 program. Again, these will be emailed out to you in the coming days, and it'll become a lot more clear to you. I have this one marked down as an under 50 or under 16 program. This is for our under 15s and under 16 players. Okay, slight difference in this. The exercises might appear the same, but they're structured slightly different. What we're looking for on this one, I'll just see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you. Yeah, okay, so if we're looking on this one, you'll see on the left hand side here the numbers, or the exercises are numbered 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B, and so on. What that means is it's called a superset. So what we're going to do is we're going to superset 2 exercises together. So on the 1A and 1B, we have an upper body exercise in our press up, matched with a lower body exercise in our squat. So what we'll do is we'll do the max numbers press ups we can do. We'll go into 10 squats, then we'll take a 60-second break. After that, we'll go back into our press ups again. We'll do the maximum number we can, record the number, straight into our squats, do our 10 squats, take our 60-second break. Back into our press up again, do as many as we can on the press up with good technique. Then we go into our last set of our squats, and then we take a 60-second break. When we've the 3rd set of squats done, only then do we move on to the 2A and 2B exercise. So you should be able to see from there the way this pattern will work. 1A and 1B will go together. We get those 3 sets out of the way. We'll move into 2A, 2B. They'll go together. We get the 3 sets out of the way. Then we move into our plank, or our 3A, 3B exercise, which is our plank and our hamstring curl. And 4A and 4B, they'll go together as well. So once we have them all done, that's our session complete, okay? So the exercise might look pretty much the same as the under 14s, but we've coupled them slightly different, and the reps and sets are different. Again, keep an eye on the times. The times are creeping up on anything this time based, like the side plank or the full plank. Pardon me. So again, I've scheduled this for 6 weeks of programming, but I'll be back to you in week 4, and hopefully we'll be able to change the program at that point. So hopefully that makes sense to you. That's the under 15 and under 16 program. We'll be going with that. Again, the link for the videos is here, Connacht GAA, or you can just type in proper technique for press up into YouTube. There's loads of stuff out there. really it's the technique we're looking for, building that technique at this stage, so we can build on. As we go forward through the academy system in the coming years, hopefully we'll be getting stronger and stronger as we go. So from there, I'm nearly finished. We'll move on to the running program. So the running program, I divided into a week 1 and a week 2. This will be matched up between the 2 groups. So really, it's about how much improvement you can put in over the coming weeks. So under 14 or under 16 program, they come together on this, so there's no real difference on this side. So for our warm up, we're going to use our regular warm up, getting good mobility into our arms and our knees. If you want, what I'll do as well is I'll send a link to be sent out through the email with the GAA 15 warm up, and you can use that as a guideline. So a little handout there is handy for this kind of work. The first stage of this. So this again will be a 2-day session. So as I just said to you earlier, ideally I'd like to see this done on a Tuesday and a Friday. We'll work on acceleration, okay? So this one, we're going to go how fast we can get from a standing to a moving and into our and try to get our speed off the mark up. Very short runs, so these can be done probably in your back garden if you have that area, or maybe on the green. Again, try and stay away a little bit from any hard surfaces like tarmac or anything like that. These first runs are very, very short, okay? So all we're going to do is a 20-meter run, really working on covering that 20 meters in as fast as we can. We're only going to do 4 of them, okay? So 4 20-meter runs with a 40-second recovery in between the run, okay? Once we have that done, we'll move on to speed repeatability. So these are a little bit longer, and what we're going to do on this one is we're going to bring in turns into it, because I'd imagine there's not too many of us with a 60-meter garden out the back of the house. So what we can do on this is, again, there's going to be 4 runs in this of 60 meters, but the way we'll do it, if we're lucky enough that we have a 30-meter area, we can run 30 meters out as hard as we can, turn and come back in 30 meters, and that'll be 60. So it's up to yourselves. Again, as Damien was saying, that adaptability is key as we go forward in our careers. So we have to be able to adapt our training situations to match what we need to get done. So what we're doing is 4 60-meter runs, again with 40 seconds of recovery between the runs, and going again at high speed. These runs here, these short interval runs, these are a little bit harder. Okay, so we're running 150 meters at these to the best of our ability. This is where we can bring in our skills. So what I'd like to see you do on this, if it's possible at all, is that we bring in a solo run if we're playing football, moving with the schlitter on the hurl if we're playing hurling, and trying to incorporate skills at pace into that we'll be needing when we get back onto the field. So there's 150-meter runs, 150 meters to be covered in each run, and 5 runs of that. So if you have your 30-meter grid out the back garden, that's 5 runs you'll be doing. 5 by 30 is 150. So you should be able to work that out yourself. Again, try and work it that if you're doing 5 runs, every second run you're running with the ball, or you're striking the schlitter, or you're catching the ball off a wall or something, and bringing those skills into it. The better we get at using our sport-specific skills in the game, the better we'll be. The better we'll be when we get back out into play. So this program is for week 1 and 2. So starting next week, this will be what you're covering. You'll be covering. Sorry, there. That's a little pop-up just came up there. Let me sort that. Okay. So on this one, you'll be covering 1,070 meters per session. So it's just about a kilometer. But don't underestimate that. It's hard work, that, especially those 5 by 150 meter runs. And the acceleration development and speed repeatability, we're looking for your actual real top speed that you can cover that distance in, and the turns. So that'll be week 1 and 2. After week 2, we're going to week 3 and 4. It's very much the same structure, but what we've done is we've altered the amount of reps. So you can see you'll be doing a couple of more of those acceleration runs, a couple more of speed repeatability, and the short interval runs will be kept in around the same, because we're looking for content there. We're looking to get a little bit of running into it. That more or less covers the program. As I say, I just re-emphasize again on the conditioning part of it, the press ups and all that. We're looking for technique. We're looking to build our technique as we improve, and on the running side of it, we want to, as best we can, to incorporate the skills into those short interval runs as well, to try and make sure we're proficient as we're going through it, as we're developing our skill set. That's about it from me. Thanks a million to Dennis and Damien for giving us a hand, for inviting me in tonight. And hopefully all that makes sense. The lads will get this out to you over the coming days, and you should be able to follow it from there. If there is any issues going forward, you can come back to them. They can forward them on to me, and hopefully we can sort out any issues you have. And that's about it. I think I'll pass you back to Damien now.
Yeah, thanks, Seamus.
That makes sense for everybody. I'll just send you a line there, Damien.
So look at that's really appreciated, Seamus. Seamus is a colleague of mine there in Connacht GAA, and really, as Dennis said there, anything you're getting there from Seamus is top class stuff. So we won't undervalue it or underestimate it. It's cutting edge, and we'd encourage all the players there on the call to embrace and use this brilliant opportunity you're getting. Again, the Talent Academy program isn't for every player in the GAA. You're chosen because you're one of the best in your club at the age, and unfortunately, it's not for everybody. But we do ask you to embrace the culture and values. So basically, what is a culture? Our culture is a set of social behaviours, and we want that to be positive and a facilitative environment. We hope we will be providing for you with a high level of support and a high level of challenge when we do get to meet you. But again, under our values there, which are principles and standards, we're asking for a big trust there from everybody that you will commit to this programme and you will have your body ready to go forward with us when we bring in. So, you know, if you haven't your body strong and you're not doing what Seamus is very prescriptive on there, you will break down either with club or county. So it's in your own best interest, and we're just trying to give you best practice in a facilitative environment. There's about 1,300 players on the programme presently between hurling and football. So sometimes when we send out an email, maybe 300 out of 1,300 want to ask us a question straight away, and that's a tough thing to get done now immediately because we're not meeting you in person. So if you have a really valid question or query, you know, we will do our best with it. But when you put this in context, 1,300 people want to ask a question or send an email back. And sometimes then it's not just the player, it might be somebody in the club. It just becomes an intolerable work program for us. So look, I just want to point that out there. But if there's anything valid, for sure, we're available, and we will answer the questions. Seamus mentioned there about Connacht GAA and the video links. So please, lads, go on the video links and get the right technique. Because if you're doing a push-up and you're not doing the full range of motion, you're not getting the most out of yourself. And less is more. So if you can do 10 full range motions versus 20, you know, the honesty we're asking you to have there, put down 10 on the sheet, and then as you go over the weeks, you will see your progression. But if you're not true to yourself when you're scoring yourself on those charts that Seamus is going to produce for us, you know, you're not going to know where what gaps you filled and how you're progressing. So we just ask you for that. So we're going to trust you now to do this program on your own and prepare your bodies. And again, I was delighted with Seamus there with the sport specific. Be loyal to the game, and can you do some of this? Can you do some of your runs with your football in hand or your hurling slitter in hand? And you know, can you get a wall ball there or a gable end, preferably without a window, and give yourself 15 or 20 minutes a day on the technical striking and catching, kicking and catching, all of those technical skills that have to be kept brushed up. Or if you're fortunate enough to have a brother or a sister there that you can go for a few pucks with there in a field or a green or a garden, use all that. But again, we're asking you to consider a few things coming into this program. Our culture and values. You'll stay in the program if you're committed, and you'll stay in the program if the managements think you're challenging yourself and you're respectful towards the whole program. The other end of it is, again, as I said, we want to be very honest with you. We don't know what the government guidelines will be going forward for underage inter-county games, especially cross-county and cross-border. So we'll just work with it. This is what we have for now. I'm a lot of years involved with Talent Academies in Galway, and you know, this is the first we've had to go on and address people online. So we're all on new stuff now. And if you have patience with us, we'll have patience with you. And again, it's a welcoming program. Nobody need feel under pressure here now. Get your programs, do your strength and conditioning, do your running, and you challenge yourself against yourself. Don't be ringing up the neighbour saying, "Jeez, I got 20 push-ups. How many did you get?" You're doing this for yourself. This is your program now for you, an individual program within your chosen sport for yourself. So we, as Dennis said there, and I just want to thank Dennis Carr there, lads and ladies on the call, if there's mums and dads and all the players we have. Dennis does the admin side, so I'm just again asking you to give him a little bit of a break on all the emails that might be coming back with queries, if they're important, for sure. But if you think you can solve them there yourselves, and maybe we just politely ask for that. So again, on March the 16th, we'll send out a link, and we'll have another educational talk on March the 16th. We'll get the 1,300 players back in. Parents are welcome, club coaches are welcome. If they want to come in and do some learning there, there's no problem. You know, and some of this stuff can be put around other youths in your club if you feel that it's going to be beneficial. We understand the people's names who are sent in or on our academy program, but if there's another 10 boys there in the club, they can be surely doing the S&C and the athletic development programs there as a byproduct of the academies, and we'll be helping the clubs there as well and the players. So look, at sincere thanks to Seamus Burns, sincere thanks to Dennis, thanks to yourselves. And you know, this is the way we have to do this. We're hoping it's not a dictate there. We'll be coming on. There's no other engagement, only you got to listen, take on board the learning, and when we send them on to you there via emails, put the learning into action. Otherwise, we're not compliant with GDPR with underage players and the whole lot. So thanks so much. We'll be talking to you again in the next fortnight. The next session will be diet, nutrition, hydration. We'll have an expert on there to address you for half an hour on that. And again, that'll be fueling your bodies and getting your bodies again ready for your chosen sport. Don't neglect your family life. Don't neglect your academic life, and bring your sporting life as part of the 3/3 there together. And that's what we're asking for today. So thanks to everybody, and we'll talk to you shortly.